capture every moment with precision and care. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook pages at DBS Radio and DBS Radio Funerals. For more info on our services, call 448-7672.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, a new project for cultural enterprise development in the northeastern and Kalinago communities is underway. In the news from the region, St. Vincent and the Grenadines to host the CARICOM trade consultation on tariff liberalization. And internationally, Europe leads calls for immediate end to fighting in Sudan as war enters its third year. The details of these stories and more coming up next.
Too often, customers are counted but not valued. Like mere numbers, statistics, transactions. But at Flow, we're prioritizing you, our valued customers who have been with us through every milestone, every moment. That's why we're putting our money where your loyalty is. Flow customers claim up to $400 in rewards for smartphones, groceries, and more when you add mobile to your current internet plan. Because loyalty isn't a one-way street. At Flow, loyalty flows both ways.
DBS News.
And welcome back. A new project for cultural enterprise development in the northeastern and Kalinago communities is underway. Cultural consultant Rosalind Paul says a major meeting of stakeholders is planned for Portsmouth Credit Union Hall tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon.
The ministry responsible for culture, through the Cultural Division, the National Cultural Council, and partners such as the Northeast Tourism and Environment Development Committee, continue efforts towards cultural enterprise development on the Northeast, and Kalinago communities. In this interest, we are undertaking or about to implement a project towards community capacity building for cultural enterprise development to include education, sensitization, training and empowerment in key areas and towards alliance building, leadership, and the development of appropriate strategies. Project activities have begun, and one such activity is an alliance and networking building workshop that will take place in Portsmouth on Wednesday, 16th in the afternoon. So all stakeholders, the different communities involved over the next 8 months will be involved in this project towards capacity building.
Cultural consultant Rosalind Paul. A new system which will strengthen DOMLEC's generating capacity is expected to be commissioned by May 2025. General Manager of DOMLEC, Dwayne Senak, says the testing is being undertaken on the battery energy storage system before the official commissioning.
That's a collaboration between DOMLEC, the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica, the UAE, IRENA, and of course, the government, you have the Dominica Geothermal Development Company. So it has been a collaborative effort in getting this battery energy storage system installed. The installation was completed in the first quarter. We also started, together with the contractor, pre-commissioning of the unit. So there were some tests that we were able to run, verify some parameters. There has been training undertaken, and so far the team, has accepted the training pretty well. I think we have a pretty good understanding of how it's going to work. That's a significant milestone, having the installation completed, and we're able to energize it, do some testing. Going forward, by the end of April, early May, we're hoping that we can finalize commissioning and have that unit 2 available for full operation. And of course, that a battery energy storage system, the main advantage is that it will essentially help support the system in terms of if one of our units were to trip, generating units were to go offline, it would take the place of that unit and prevent outages due to, lack of capacity and so. The main thing really is when the geothermal comes online, it's essentially to provide that backup for the geothermal project.
General Manager of Dominic Dwayne Senak. The May-June examination cycle of the Caribbean Examination Council, or CXC, has officially commenced today across the region, including Dominica. Dr. Wayne Wesley, the Registrar and CEO of CXC, announced that over 100,000 candidates will be sitting this year's examinations. The Regional Examinations Body held a press conference this morning to mark the start of the examination period.
Today, April 15, marks the official start of the traditional May-June examinations, with the customary oral examinations in the modern foreign languages such as Spanish, French, and Portuguese. We are pleased to announce that for this 2025 examination period, over 100,000 candidates from across the region have been registered to sit more than 600,000 subject entries. This will be another mammoth undertaking, but we are equal to the task. The team has worked hard to ensure that everything is in place for the successful administration of the examination.
And that was Registrar and CEO of the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, Dr. Wayne Wesley. Meantime, Director of Operations of CXC, Rodney Payne, urges member states to adopt CXC's new regional framework on artificial intelligence.
For us to benefit as a region, we need a harmonious development utilizing the technologies across the board. It's not going to help us if one state moves ahead quickly and the others are struggling to follow, because CXC's exams are not territorial. They're not located in one member state. All must benefit from the intervention. Hence, the lack of policy, the lack of framework required some intervention, and CXC position in the secondary education system has led that charge. So the idea behind the framework is not prescriptive in nature. It provides guidance so that we can adapt as the technology changes. It's to facilitate harmony. Each member state, each set of candidates should have an equal opportunity to benefit from the technologies that are available. And we give some general guidelines embodied in 10 policy statements that will support development within territory. At whichever level you are, you can participate and advance that agenda.
And that was the Director of Operations of CXC, Rodney Payne. Minister for Health Kasani Laville has called on healthcare professionals in Dominica to hold each other to higher standards. His remarks came at a recent certificate ceremony for nurses who excelled in continuing professional development. Laville says the work that nurses do should not be defined by a few challenges which may occur in the healthcare system.
The stories that we keep on hearing, the little micro issues that are sometimes blown out of proportion. Mind you, I am not saying that they are not serious. Every complaint must be dealt with and treated with absolute seriousness. But every day, if we have one challenge at this hospital, we have 1,000 miracles, and the public needs to know that. But also, too, for all of us, it's important, too, that you hold your colleagues to high standards, because it's not fair to be part of a noble, distinguished profession where every day you do your best, you go over and beyond the call of duty, and you see some of your colleagues not doing their best. And because of what they are doing or not doing, they are sullying the image of nurses, and that troubles me. There's no individual success in this sector that you all are part of. It's all team, and you cannot thrive as an individual in a sector, no matter how good you have done, if it's a sector that generally is viewed unfavorably. We have to see it as a collective where we all play our part, we all play our role, and that is how we will continue to do better.
Minister for Health Kasani Laville. Principal of the Wharton Waven Primary School, Josette Morancy Langford, says a new photocopier presented to the school this morning is timely. The photocopier is a gift from Dominican Alvin Anthony, a businessman based in the United States.
And I am very grateful to Kubali Contractors, which is owned by Mr. Alvin Anthony, a past student of the Wharton Waven Primary School. He has donated a photocopier for our school, and because our school has a very small population, it is sometimes very difficult to raise funds. So our school is very grateful for the initiative, and we really hope that we can continue that relationship with Mr. Anthony. On a daily basis, we do a lot of photocopies, and we do not have many textbooks on the government book list. So we do a lot of copies for our students. So it's going to help us to make the copies that we need.
Principal of Wharton Waven Primary, Josette Morancy Langford. Businessman and owner of Kubali Contractors, Alvin Anthony, says he hopes the photocopier will go a long way in the education of students of Wharton Waven.
Again, I was very delighted to be able to step forward and to donate this photocopier to the Wharton Waven Primary School on behalf of myself and my company, Kubali Contractors in Illinois. I hope that this printer goes a long way in helping to meet the needs of the students and also help the teachers in the task of conveying knowledge to the children. So I hope that helps tremendously. So once more, thanks for the opportunity given to me to be able to contribute this photocopier to the school, and I hope they use it to the best of its ability and for their gracious use in helping to improve on the children's education. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope we can do greater things with the Wharton Waven School in the future.
Businessman and owner of Kubali Contractors, Alvin Anthony. And AfroCaribbean 2025 has been hailed a success. Organizers of AfroCaribbean 2025, Kimara Matthew, says the event, which was held on Saturday, highlighted Dominica's heritage through storytelling, fashion, and artistic expression.
I am pleased to announce that AfroCaribbean 2025 was indeed a huge success. Dominicans came out in large numbers, and for this I am so grateful. My favorite highlights were the presentation made by the Kalinago community. They presented their story and made Dominicans very appreciative of where they came from and where they are currently. Another favorite of mine is Michael Henderson's performance, as well as the energy that was brought by each and every model that hit the runway. It was just magnificent. The performance as well by Prince Apia, who is also known by the name Princia the Poet. She did an amazing presentation, and it was just pure vibes and energy. I would like to say to the public and to Dominicans at home and abroad that I am so appreciative of persons who connected via our online link and also those who were present. I am also grateful that I'm able to use my platform as a designer to give back to my community and to say to the people, to say to the world rather, that Dominica is a beautiful country and there's so much that we have to offer.
Organizer of AfroCaribbean 2025, Kimara Matthew. On our feature segment, we go to Kalinago territory to find a young lady involved in basket making. Cecilia Benjamin of Cecilia's Creation is involved in basket making for over 20 years. She says the products for the baskets can be found in the Kalinago territory. Cecilia Benjamin of the Kalinago territory is our feature on the evening news.
Well, it's products made out of a reed called lauma, and it's grown in the forest, mostly in the Kalinago territory. So we use it to do different baskets. I do clutches, handbags, side bags, beach basket, lunch basket, all type of baskets you can think of. I've been in that over 20 years. I've started from after I left school. I didn't do well at school, so I went straight into doing something that could sustain my livelihood. So I went into basket making.
And how has it been for you?
Well, sometimes good and sometimes bad. But especially in that Creole season, it has always been good. Yeah, the exposure has been good. The people have been nice to me and really patronizing.
So that's basically your way of life?
Yes, it is. That's what I do for a living.
What about employment? Do you employ people in this business?
Not full time. Most times when I have a large demand, I would ask 1 or 2 people to help, but not full time.
But this must be very satisfying to you when you see these things being displayed. I'm sure you get a lot of commendation from those people who come to see you.
Yes, I do. They're always giving me good energy, telling me how my things are beautiful and neatly done. When I weave with passion, I weave with love. So my baskets and whatever I do it with love. It's because it's unique, it's different. Most times they are one of a kind because it's only in the Kalinago you can find those.
And that was Cecilia Benjamin of the Kalinago Territory taking us to the end of this evening's featured segment and National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
Too often, customers are counted but not valued. Like mere numbers, statistics, transactions. But at Flow, we're prioritizing you, our valued customers who have been with us through every milestone, every moment. That's why we're putting our money where your loyalty is. Flow customers claim up to $400 in rewards for smartphones, groceries, and more when you add mobile to your current internet plan. Because loyalty isn't a one-way street. At Flow, loyalty flows both ways.
DBS News.
And welcome back. And now news from the region. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Ministry of Foreign Affairs will host a high-level consultation with CARICOM Secretariat next week, Wednesday, at the University of the West Indies Global Campus in Kingstown. The consultation aims to support CARICOM's ongoing efforts to refine its approach to external trade negotiations, particularly in relation to tariff liberalization. This event represents a critical opportunity for stakeholders from both the public and private sectors to contribute to shaping the region's trade policy. Internationally, Britain and European Union countries led international calls today for an immediate and permanent ceasefire to end the devastating war in Sudan, as nations pledged more than 600 or 800 million in pounds fresh humanitarian aid. The international community also stressed the necessity of preventing any partition of Sudan. The war erupted on April 15 for 2023 in a bitter power struggle between rival generals leading Sudan's regular army and the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF. More than 13 million people have been displaced and tens of thousands killed in what United Nations describes as the world's worst hunger and displacement crisis. This brings us to the end of this evening's news. Up next is sports.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
And welcome to your DBS Evening Sports for today, April 15th, 2025. First off, we go to Joseph Fado for the latest in basketball.
Thank you very much, Hassan Robinson. Well, in some schools basketball, the Dominica State College got the better of the ITSS as the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-20 Boys Basketball Tournament continued this afternoon. Here is this report from Sports Officer UD John.
The Dominica State College made it an easy win versus the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School in the Secondary Schools Under-20 Boys Basketball Championship. In a match played at the Massac Indoor Facility on Tuesday, the Dominica State College won 88-50 for the Dominica State College. Nigel George was the game's top scorer with 28 points, and he was assisted by Shomo Kazimi with 15 points, Dret Swanley 21 points, and Bian Seaman 12 points. While for the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, Meshach Dubule, he had 17 points, and Jaden Stewart scored 16 points. The competition continues tomorrow with 2 matches at the Massac Indoor Facility. The PHL Secondary School girls will come up against the Convent High School in game 1 from 2 p.m. and following at 3:30, the PHL Secondary School boys will face the Academics in the final match of the term before the close of school. And then the competition will resume on the 29th of April when the school reopens.
That was Sports Officer UD John with that report. In the other match played at the Weirs Court in Marigot, the Northeast Comprehensive School defeated the Portsmouth Secondary School 70-48 for the NECS, or the Northeast Comprehensive. Danny Harriet 20 points, Ajihad Henry 20 points, and Jamichael Teat 12 points. And for the PSS, or the Portsmouth Secondary School, Keldon Langley 13 points and Jackie Coriol 15 points. Our thanks to Sports Officer UD John and of course Sports Editor Gavin Richards for that. Hassan, it's back to you.
Thanks again, Mr. Joseph Fado, for that excellent report in there. And into some football action, Jalen Victor put on a show at Windsor Park as he guided the Baroness Patricia Scotland Thibault Penville combined to the 2025 Boys Division 1 title in the NBD Sports Division Primary Schools Football Tournament this afternoon. Victor got 4 goals, including a first-half hat-trick, leading his school to a 5-2 win over the Grand Bay Primary Schools in today's finals at the Windsor Park. Nelon Tulo also scored for the Baroness Patricia Scotland Thibault Penville combined, while Shavante Defoe and Kervin Lewis got a goal each for the Grand Bay Primary School. Baroness Patricia Scotland Thibault Penville combined head coach is John Christopher.
Well, we came prepared to win, and we had a game plan, so we utilized our game plan and we make it happen.
Jalen Victor, 4 goals.
Yeah.
You know, how special was he this afternoon for your school?
Jalen is always special. Jaden's a very special player, and I told the DFA players last week, look out for Jaden because Jaden is a special player. And I mean, I gave them reason why they need to look at him. Yeah.
So getting out to that early start, 2 goals, you know, how much did that influence the game? How did that make things comfortable for your school?
Well, truly, the thing is, we know as long as we have the start, we just need to keep it and stay up, and that's what we did. We just stay up, and we didn't let anything get to us. Even when they scored their goal, that was nothing because that's football.
It's a combination of schools, but I'm sure a lot of the other schools would have, helped in terms of the preparations. Any other words to the other schools who made part of this trio?
Well, the Thibault School, we have some amazing players. Jaden Victor, we have JKL, we have the goalkeeper, John, they're from the Thibault School. We have Nelon Tulo and Ezekiel Odin from the Veka School, the Baroness. And then we have from the Penville School, we have Kayvon, KL, Aiden, and yeah. Yeah, so there's some good. The teams, I think the team is a great team. The boys, they work well together.
And that was Baroness Patricia Scotland Thibault Penville combined head coach John Christopher. Here now is the finals MVP, Jalen Victor.
I felt good. My teammates gave me assists, so yeah. We did not play greedy for the ball, and my teammates passed the ball for me plenty.
All right. How happy are you to have won your championship and played such a big role in helping your school win today?
I felt good.
And you would have gotten the goals, but I'm sure you want to probably big up some of your other teammates who helped you cross the line?
Me? Yes, Nelo and Jekyll. They helped me to score the goals and they give me assists. So.
And that was the finals MVP, Jalen Victor. Meantime, Amia Brumant got a brace to lead the St. John Primary Schools to the Girls' Championships. The St. John Primary beat the Christian Union Primary 2-1 in the finals. In some more sports here, the Dubla, just to continue that story, the Dubla and Collier combined won the Boys Development Division, beating Montjean Primary 1-0 in extra time, with Alec Philogen getting the winning goal for the first half of extra time. Still in some sports, as we bowl off into some cricket, the Windward Islands Under-15 opened up their campaign in the CWI Rising Stars Under-15 tournament in Antigua on a winning note with a crushing 8-wicket win over the Leeward Islands as that tournament got underway today. Windwards won the toss and opted to bowl and dismissed the Leewards for just 109 in 29.4 overs. Dominica's pair of Jershawn Joseph took 2 for 17 and Dylan John 2 for 15. Windwards replied with 110 for 2 in 25.5 overs. Alex Armstrong got 47, Dominica's Derwin Lewis 25, And in other matches, Barbados beat Jamaica by 9 wickets and Guyana beat Trinidad by 6 wickets. In some more news here, or sports action, the Central Cooperative Credit Union has announced Carifta Games gold medalist Addison James as its newest brand ambassador. James, who hails from Margaret, is a member of the 2025 Carifta Games team to represent Dominica at the Carifta Games this weekend. Marketing manager at Central Cooperative Credit Union, Lorraine Henderson Reed, says the institution is impressed with what James has been able to achieve so far and wants to play a role in helping him achieve even greater things.
Today, we are elated to welcome another winner to the fold. We can't help but be impressed with Central's commitment to community. Central has been supporting sports, the youth, education, the arts, culture, and the health of our members in the communities that we serve. We continue to place emphasis on the human aspect which aids in the growth of the society. As you know, Central Cooperative Credit Union Limited identifies with winners. We are the proud sponsors of Miss Dominica 2025, Miss Tanisha Balso. We are also the proud sponsors of the CCCUL Jubla Football Club, the 2024 Premier League champions. Our very own CCCUL ambassador, Ajanaya Kazimi, not only excels in his cycling races, but he excelled with 13 ones at CSEC exams last year. We are proud and we are pleased to offer our full support and sponsorship to national athlete Mr. Addison James to attend and participate in the 2025 Carifta Games in Trinidad and Tobago. We are also pleased to announce that Addison James is our newest brand ambassador, and this will be another significant milestone in his athletic career. Addison is a winner, and he is sponsored by a winning financial institution. It is official. Addison James, we wish to welcome you to the Central Cooperative Credit Union Limited family as a brand ambassador.
Marketing manager at the Central Cooperative Credit Union, Lorraine Henderson Reed. James is currently in Jamaica attending the Edwin Allen High School on athletics scholarship. Central Cooperative Credit Union also presented James with $2,400 to go towards his participation at the Carifta Games. The Granby Credit Union also presented athlete Karel Etienne with a similar amount. Still in sports action this evening, West Indies women's coach Shane Dates is calling on his girls to rally and put together some strong performances as they look to secure qualification for the next ICC Women's World Cup. The ladies face an uphill battle, having lost 2 matches already. They will need to win their remaining games and hope for some favorable results. The Windies' next game will be against Bangladesh on Thursday.
It's been a disappointing tournament so far, but we've got 2 games we've got to finish really well. And hope results go our way. But what we're going to focus on is playing better ODI cricket. You know, we're in this position at this tournament because we haven't played good cricket over this cycle of ODI cricket for about 3 or 4 years. And that's something we've got to really improve on and look at and review after this and be better going into the next cycle of the championship for the next World Cup. Obviously now, we're going to recover. We've got 2 big games to come, train well in a couple of days and come out fighting hard last 2 games. And yeah, anything can happen. Cricket's a funny game, but we've just got to focus on finishing well and playing some really good cricket and giving our fans something to cheer about because obviously we've let them down, let ourselves down, let all our fans back in the Caribbean down, which is real disappointing. But that's cricket. We've got to fight back. That's the only way to do it is train hard, get together, stick together as a team. Came out fighting the last 2 games and hopefully a few things go away and a miracle can happen. But so all we're going to do is play well last few games and finish this tournament well and then regroup and see where we go from there.
West Indies women's coach Shane Dates. Guyana Harpy Eagles captain Tevin Imlach has expressed disappointment with the news that 2 of his players have been accused of ball tampering in the Eagles' finals match against Trinidad. The match ended in a draw with Guyana being crowned champions. However, the celebrations have been marred with the reports that Verasamy Permal and Kevlon Anderson were fined for Level 2 breaches of the CWI Code of Conduct, which relates to the changing of the condition of the ball. Permal was fined 75% of his match fees and Kevlon Anderson 90% of his match fees as well.
Yeah, obviously very disappointed because it puts a cloud over
everything we would have worked for, everything we would have done through the tournament. We would have played good cricket. We played 6 games, no issue, and to come in the last one and for this to happen, it puts a big negative thing around, what would have, been a good season. So, I'm very disappointed. I'm sure you can see that I wasn't really smiling a whole lot in this interview because, it's something that, it really it's not good. It's not something you want to be associated with. Like it's negative, and you never want to be associated with things that are negative. So hopefully, something like this doesn't happen in the future. Because it's not something we want to be associated with, and we want to be known for. Guyana cricket team is a hard, a team that plays with heart, and we aim to win games fairly. So it's something negative, and we don't want to be associated with it moving forward.
And that was Guyana Harpy Eagles captain Tevin Imlach. Windward Islands Volcanoes captain Alec Athene says the players have to take responsibility for the poor showing during the CWI Regional 4-Day tournament. The Windwards, who were runners-up in the last 2 editions, finished this year's tournament in last place. Athene says the poor performances were not up to standard. He says he was also disappointed with his own efforts with the bat. Athene scored 231 runs at an average of 29.
I wouldn't blame it on the coaches. I feel preparation has maybe mentally and a bit physically. Preparation has been a bit slow, to be honest. I think whenever you try to prepare for games, you try your best to replicate the conditions that you're going in. I don't feel that we have done that well as a playing group. But the coaches, nevertheless, have been doing a good job. I think there's even instances where you even get the physio on board trying to prepare the guys in the net. So I think the coaches have done a good job. But to be honest, I feel that we probably going forward, we need to assess probably how things are going to be done wherever we go into play, and probably try to replicate that and try to prepare our players as best as possible.
On reflection, your season, you would have missed the early part, but in terms of your output, room for improvement, or are you satisfied with what you put out on the stat sheet?
Never satisfied, to be honest. Even though I got the most runs, I wasn't satisfied. So I would definitely not be satisfied this year. I mean, it has been a slow start for me, like ending of last year and this year. But I tend to look at the big picture. So I will always be working, looking to improve my game, looking to see if I can get better every day. So that in times like these, whenever I am called upon, I could produce.
And that was Windward Islands Volcanoes captain Alec Athene. The regional 4-day tournament was won by Guyana. Meantime, taking a look at the top performers from the competition, Trinidad's Jason Mohammed was the leading run scorer with 679 runs at an average of 75. He scored 4 centuries, including a double century. Trinidad's Joshua Da Silva was the second leading scorer with 583 runs. Guyana's Kevlin Anderson had 573. The Leeward's Jamar Hamilton also had 573, and the combined campuses and colleges batsman Shakir Paris had 546. Shadrach Descarte was the Volcanoes' leading run scorer with 346 runs. In the bowling department, Trinidad's Harry Pear had 41 wickets. The West Indies Academy Joshua Bishop had 33. Barbados' Jamel Warrican had 32. Guyana's Veerasamy Permaul also had 32, and Guyana's Ronaldo Ali Mohammed had 28 wickets. The Volcanoes' leading wicket taker was Kenneth Demba with 24 wickets. Well, this is all the time we have for DBS News and Sports. A special thanks to the DBS News and Sports team and link personnel, DJ Halo Boy.
For it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
FastPay. 2 minutes and you're on your way.
Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.